Stern action to be taken against principals of schools who violate the circular relating to admission of students to advanced level classes. The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party says that the golden era of the party has been dawned during the tenure of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The government says that there has been no malpractice or loss in importing aviation fuel. The representatives of World Buddhist Sangha Council worship the sacred tooth relic. Sri Lanka Rupani Corporation has obtained the sole proprietorship of televising 2012 Olympic Festival. 55 persons have died and 372 injured by bomb explosions in Syria.
Now for those and other stories in detail. A special exposition of the sacred tooth relic was held for the representatives of the World Buddhist Sangha Council at the historical Sri Dalada Maligava in Kandy. President Mahinda Rajapaksa also participated in this occasion. 27 Buddhist monks representing the Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana and Tantrayana traditions and about 500 laymen paid homage to the tooth relic today. The Mahasangha chanted an Ashirvada Pirith at the Sri Dalada Maligava. The Avadana Nilame, Pradeep Nilangadala and several others attended the function. The representatives of the World Buddhist Sangha Council visited the Mahanayaka Thera of the Askiriya chapter, the Venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakita Thera, yesterday and received blessings. The representatives also met the Mahanayaka of the Malvata chapter, the Most Venerable Tibbatuvave Sri Sumangala Thera. They discussed with the Mahanayaka Thera about propagating Buddhism in an international level, protecting it and several other related matters.
The Minister of Education informed that stern action will be taken against the principals who do not act according to the circulars relating to admission of students to GCE advanced level classes. The ministry emphasized that if the stream of education and the mediums is available in the schools of study, such students should not be given the opportunity to enter another national school. The program of establishing 1,000 secondary schools is being implemented. Accordingly, 3 schools will be established in each divisional secretariat division. The Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that if a student from a national school with all facilities enters another national school to study advanced level, it would deprive the educational opportunity of another student. Minister of Education Bandula Gunawardena said that the ministry's secretary has issued a circular that a student who gets excellent results by studying in a national school, and if that school has the relevant streams, that such student cannot seek enrollment in another national school. He said that not only 1 or 2, but groups of parents come and make requests for transfer of their children to different schools. He asked then, what is the purpose of having other schools?
උසස් පෙළ සඳහා මාරුවෙන් ඉඩ ප්‍රස්තාව ලබා දෙන්නේ නැති බවට චක්‍රලේඛනයක් අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ලේකම්තුමා විසින් නිකුත් කරලා තිබෙනවා. දැන් මෙහෙම මේ තියෙන පාසල් පොකුර අතරෙම දෙමව්පියෝ දෙන්නේ 3 දෙනෙක් ගත්තාම කියනවා ඇවිල්ලා මේ අපේ ඔක්කොම ළමයි ටික ගන්න කියන්නේ කියලා. එතකොට මොකටද එකිනෙකට වෙනස් පාසල් කීපයක් තියෙන්නේ?
The policy of teacher transfers of national schools is being also implemented properly. Graduates from recruited as advanced level teachers. Steps will also be taken to establish laboratories, mathematical units and NANASA centers in schools. The minister said that it is the objective of the government to provide equal opportunities to all students. Minister of Education Bandula Gunawardena said that their duty and the responsibility is not to destroy several schools and only maintain 3 or 4 schools. It is the objective to raise the standards of village schools also to the level of the popular schools. He said, if the requests of certain people were allowed, it will become a political interference and it will disrupt the whole education system. The minister said that the government cannot allow such a situation to happen. As per the circular, students with special aptitudes and for the children of government officials who get transferred to a different area can enter national schools.
The government says that there has been no malpractice or loss to the government in the import of aviation fuel. This was stated by Acting Minister of Mass Media and Information Lakshman Yapabewardene at the Cabinet Decision Announcement Media Conference held at the Information Department today. Acting Minister of Mass Media and Information Lakshman Yapabewardene said that two consignments of fuel of 7,500 metric tons and 12,500 metric tons were brought, and the consignment of 12,500 was accepted as there was no problem relating to its standards. However, there were some problems related to the consignment of 7,500 metric tons. Therefore, the government refused to accept this consignment. The Singapore company, which supplied these consignments, came forward to offer a discount, and it was negotiated to accept it on a favourable condition to Sri Lanka, since it could be used as kerosene. The minister said by accepting this consignment to use as kerosene, the government earned a profit of 1,787,460 rupees. He said the government has acted rightly in this manner. The minister also said that a committee was appointed immediately and it has already submitted its report. The minister also explained about the purchase of shares of a private company by the National Savings Bank. Acting Minister of Mass Media and Information Lakshman Yapabewardene said that there is a Treasury circular relating to the mechanism to be adopted in all transactions. If any transaction is carried out violating this circular, the Treasury Secretary is empowered to cancel such transactions. Accordingly, the Treasury Secretary has suspended the transactions. The second step is that the Treasury can take steps against the bank if there has been any mistake done by them. The immediate step the Treasury Secretary can take is to suspend the deal. An investigative committee has been appointed and the President has requested for a report on this matter. The report would help ascertain the reasons for the mistake.
The latest survey carried out by the Save the Children non-governmental organization has found that Sri Lanka is a country with the lowest mortality rate of mothers in Asia. The survey also points out that Sri Lanka has the lowest death rate of mothers in childbirth. The survey has covered 165 countries. Accordingly, in India, one mother out of 140 dies in the childbirth. In Sri Lanka, it is one mother for every 1,100 childbirth. Sri Lanka is leading other countries in South Asia in providing health advices and medicines on the day of conception until the childbirth. The postnatal protection in Sri Lanka is also in a very high level. The Minister of Health points out that the survey has named Sri Lanka as the best country in prenatal health protection.
The sole rights for telecasting the London Olympics has been obtained by the National Rupavahini. The National Rupavahini has obtained these rights in accordance with an agreement reached with the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. In order to get the rights for the 2012 London Olympics, a television institute should be a full-time member of the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation meets this qualification. Sri Lanka Rupavahini is the only television institution in Sri Lanka that has fulfilled this qualification. This has been confirmed by the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. Accordingly, only the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation will get the full rights of telecasting the 2012 London Olympics, its satellite transmission rights, cable transmission rights and broadcasting and telecasting rights. The National Rupavahini Corporation has paid $30,000 in this connection. The agreement in this regard was signed by the Chief Secretary of the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, Javed Motagi, and Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Mohan Samaranayaka, on the 6th of December 2011. If any institution wants to telecast or broadcast Olympic events within Sri Lanka, they should take full permission from the National Rupavahini. As the facts relating to telecasting the London Olympics remain so, the announcements being made by a certain television channel that they have the telecasting rights of the London Olympics is totally untrue. It is also being reported that this television institute is exerting pressure on the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union and making powerful efforts to get the rights for themselves. Well, it's time for a short commercial break, but more local news awaits you. Stay with us.
Welcome back, you're watching Rupavahini News. Taking a look at the news just in. The mother of the Sri Lankan ambassador in Russia, Udayanka Weeratunga, and the aunt of the Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa and his brothers and sisters, the former postmistress of Madamulana, Mrs. Nanda Amaratunga Disanayaka Weeratunga, has passed away. Well, continuing with the news from the local arena, President Mahinda Rajapaksa attended Parliament today. When the President attended the Parliament, the condolence motion on the death of Anuruddha Ratwatte has been discussed. After that, the President held cordial discussions with Mrs. Carmen Ratwatte, Parliamentarian Lohan Ratwatte and the Kandy Mayor Mahen Ratwatte at the parliamentary premises. Minister S.P. Disanayaka said that the university students now have the total freedom of carrying out their studies. The minister made these comments in response to a question raised by the opposition. UNP parliamentarian Buddhika Patrana said that the universities are important for student politics. He asked the minister whether he will make arrangements not to snatch the right from the students. Higher Education Minister S.B. Disanayaka in response said that the university students lost their political rights after 87, 88 and 89. During that period, the United National Party did not do anything to protect the rights. In 2001 to 2003, universities were controlled by the students. During this period, no elections were held in the universities. This control, which was held by the students, have been handed over to Vice Chancellors and the Board of Control of Universities. At present, the students have total freedom. If the students, including wrong activities, disciplinary action will be taken against them. They can even make appeal against the disciplinary rules.
The government has decided to establish a national centre for lightning safety. The cabinet has given approval for appointing a committee in this connection with the assistance of the engineering and scientific institutions. The centre will function as an institution for the prevention and minimizing of lightning-related accidents. It will be a semi-government institution. The proposal was submitted by Minister of Disaster Management, Mahinda Amaravira. The Cabinet has approved providing of a stock of agricultural equipment received from the Japanese government at concessionary prices to farmers. The proposal was submitted by the Minister of Agriculture, Mahinda Yapa Abewardana, with the objective of encouraging local food production. Upon making an initial payment, 2-wheel and 4-wheel tractors will be given on an installment payment basis. 50% of school uniform material for next year will be imported through the Sri Lanka State Trading Corporation following the competitive bidding procedure. The Cabinet also approved to entrust the printing of school textbooks to the State Printing Corporation and the Department of Government Printing. These proposals were submitted by Minister of Education, Bandula Gunawardena. The Cabinet approved allocation of blocks of land in 25 industrial estates to 52 selected industrialists on a 35-year lease basis. This measure will create around 3,000 direct job opportunities with investments amounting to 2,040 million rupees. This proposal was submitted by Minister of Commerce and Industry, Rishad Badruddin. The Defence Services Command and Staff College Act will be amended. Accordingly, the institution will be affiliated to the Sir John Kutalavala Defence University. This is the only educational institution which provides training facilities to middle-level officers of the Tri-Forces. The proposal was submitted by President Mahinda Rajapaksa in the capacity of Minister of Defence and Urban Development.
Meanwhile, the reform program of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will be started from Anuradhapura from next Saturday. The General Secretary of the SLFP, Minister Maithripala Sirisena, addressing a media conference in Colombo, said that the program will cover all districts within a period of 6 months. The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Maithripala Sirisena, said that the Parliament, Provincial Council and local government institutions representatives as well as the ministers will visit house to house in their relevant areas and will explain the position of the party and distribute a pamphlet. The electoral organizer of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will entrusted with the responsibility of appointing a central committee after 1 week of this exercise. The minister said that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has won the confidence of people uninterruptedly. The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Maithripala Sirisena, said that if D.S.A. Danayaka, who found the United National Party, could become alive again, he will ask Ranil Wickremesinghe what destruction you have done to the party which was built by me. He said that the JVP also got split into 3 groups. However, under the leadership of President Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has risen to its peak level within its 60 years of history. He said that he has identified that the SLFP's golden era is Mahinda Rajapaksa's era. The minister said that he is making this statement as the General Secretary of the party. Minister Susil Premajand, addressing the media conference, said that the reform program will be implemented not with the objective of targeting local government election. The General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Minister Susil Premajand, said that according to the election calendar, that the first election should be the Eastern Province Provincial Council election in April next year. The process will start by the Election Commissioner 3 months before the scheduled date. By that will be in January next year. However, a Chief Minister of a Provincial Council can inform the Governor of the relevant province in writing even before the scheduled date, requesting to dissolve that Provincial Council and hold elections. He said that United People's Freedom Alliance has not postponed any election but has held elections before the scheduled date, and even the presidential election was held in this manner.
The Sri Lankan ambassador in Japan, Admiral Vasantha Karanagoda, said that from the Japanese Deputy Prime Minister Katsuya Okada's visit to Sri Lanka, the country received many benefits. This was stated by Admiral Karanagoda, making a special statement to the National Rupavahini. The Japanese Prime Minister made a 2-day official visit to Sri Lanka recently. The Japan-Sri Lanka friendship has a history of 60 years. The purpose of the visit was to further strengthen this relationship. The Japanese Deputy Prime Minister, upon meeting President Mahinda Rajapaksa, thanked him for the assistance extended when Japan faced a tsunami disaster recently. During his visit, the Japanese Deputy Prime Minister inspected the development programs being implemented with Japanese assistance and the progress being made by Sri Lanka in the post-conflict era.
So the visit was, one is to mark this 60th anniversary and also to invite His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, the President of Sri Lanka, to visit Japan to mark this anniversary year. Also, he made use of this visit to observe the development projects which are under progress, which are in progress with Japanese assistance, such as Upper Kotmale project. And also there are a number of Japanese non-government organizations working in North and East in Sri Lanka to assist rehabilitated, resettled IDPs to have their own livelihood. So these NGOs get their fundings through Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan, and Honorable Okada made use of his time in Sri Lanka to visit some of these projects also and witness for himself the progress of these projects.
Well, that's our local news roundup. International news comes your way next. Stay with us.
Nature's Secrets Moisturizing Lotion. Soft, supple, lovable skin.
International news now. 2 explosions have hit the Syrian capital Damascus, killing at least 55 people and wounding 372. According to the Syrian media, it could be seen massive destruction in the Al-Qaizaz suburb to the south of Damascus, where it housed a military intelligence complex. The city has been the target of several bombs in past months and continuing anti-government unrest. The 2 sides are supposed to observe a ceasefire monitored by UN observers, but violence has continued unbattered, with the restricted city of Homs shelled again overnight.
Hello and a very good evening. You're with me, Zainat Bongzo, bringing you the latest in the world of sports. The flame for the London 2012 torch relay and Olympic Games has been lit during a ceremony in Olympia, Greece. It was kindled by actress Ino Menegaki playing a high priestess who caught the sun's rays in a parabolic mirror. The ceremony took place amid the Temple of Hera ruins by the ancient Olympic Games Stadium. The flame went out briefly before being relit and transferred to the first torch bearer. The flame, an Olympic symbol meant to represent purity because it comes directly from the sun, was placed in an urn and taken to the stadium where the ancient Olympic Games were held. The flame flies to Britain on Friday 18th of May for a 70-day relay on the UK.
And that's it on our news tonight. Thank you for joining us. Do watch again tomorrow night at the same time. Good night.